celebrity coming to town. Mike Bova's in this morning, who's a local comedian. Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
And you brought with you Marc Price. Marc, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning to the fine people of Rome and Utica area.
Marc you were Skippy on Family Ties. Today you're a comedian. You travel the world.
I'm still Skippy, let's face it.
You're still Skippy?
I've grown to cope.
So, because I got to tell you, who do we have in Dynamite there? Dynamite.
Jimmy J.J. Walker,
JJ.
I'll say it. A legend, a phenomenon, a young comedian that in a lot of ways was the first modern comedian from the comedy club era to hit it big on a sitcom. And yes, he doesn't like to say Dynamite. He doesn't want to call him JJ.
Yeah, don't.
And can you blame him? I know. I can cope. All right, I was just the nerdy neighbor. I'm milking this thing. I should win the award, milking the nerdy neighbor for 30 years thing. He was truly the Michael J. Fox of his show.
Yeah,
he was the phenomenon.
He was.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Were you old enough? Do you remember? I had the Dynamite shirt. Yeah. We all watched it. And so the idea that he doesn't want to deal with it anymore, I couldn't blame him.
We were doing a TV show at the time. He was in the back of my Explorer, and we're driving around, and he's just kind of sitting there looking like, what has happened to my career?
I have that look. Mike knows that look.
Yeah.
We've been on tour for a week. He's seen that look plenty.
Yeah. The look can be tough. So now you guys are doing comedy all throughout the area right now? Where are you traveling to, Mike?
Well, we're all over upstate New York. We're on the last leg of our 14-city tour. And so we're in Westchester County tomorrow night. We're in Rome on Friday. We're in Watertown Saturday, Jamestown on Sunday. We're all over.
How's the comedy biz these days? It's tough today. By the way, it's the hardest business in the world.
Well, with the apocalyptic times that we live in.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
People need to laugh more than ever right now. You know, traditionally, comedy, I'm a comedy nerd. Historically, comedy has done very well in tough times. During the Depression.
Comedy and alcohol.
Comedy did well.
That and alcohol.
Yeah.
It works, and they work together, by the way, so very well.
And the more you drink, the funnier the show is.
Yeah, that certainly helps. So talk about what's happening on Friday. This is for Rome Catholic Schools. Is this something you're personally involved with Rome Catholic, or do they reach out to you? How does all this go?
Yeah, actually, we're working with Bill DiPaolo, you know Bill.
Yep.
And he found out that we were doing the tour, and he said, hey, you guys want to do a fundraiser for Rome Catholic? We're like, twist my arm. So here we are at Rome Catholic Friday night. Rome Capitol Theater Friday night for Rome Catholic. It's a big fundraiser. I mean, it's a great cause, right? So and you get a tremendous comedy show. I mean, it's just a win-win.
Sponsored by Tucker Pool and Spa and Apollo Entertainment Services. Marc, did anybody ever grab your rear end, or have you been doing any grab?
Because I'm from Hollywood.
Well,
I'm
I'm just
instantly
saying.
marked sexual predator.
Have you had any dealings with Harvey Weinstein?
I'd like to thank Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and Charlie Sheen for making sure no one from Hollywood ever gets laid on the road again.
It's all over now. Yeah, they've ruined it for everybody.
But the great thing is it's just in time because I've got the love of my life, my one love, forever. And it's a new thing for me, too. All these years, I've had girlfriends and stuff, but not anything even remotely like what I am experiencing right now. So for those of you worried about me with Mallory and my unrequited years, I scored.
Good for you.
Finally.
Took long enough.
Tell me what was it like back then, being a part of all of that, and Michael J. Fox and all of this?
It was pretty cool. I was a comedian first. I was a little kid comedian. I was on the Merv Griffin show when I was 14.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of those little kid performers you just want to smack upside the face because they act too adult, too young.
That's right.
It's not usually a comic. It's usually a singer.
Right.
And they're 9 years old and they're belting out tunes about, emotions and things they can't possibly comprehend.
The visual doesn't match the
memories. Yeah. You're 6. Memories of what? Right. You were 5. But you should be singing songs about animal noises. And the cow goes murr.
It just fits, right?
See that. Anyway, I was one of those kids. I came out and I was like, divorce is rough. I had the little high voice. I can't even do my high voice anymore. And the scoop is that my dad was a legendary Catskill comedian.
Oh.
And before that, he was on the radio. My dad was on the radio with Fred Allen in 1940.
Wow.
And he did a lot. Worked with Sammy Davis Jr. and George Burns and Lenny Bruce. And these guys were his friends.
Wow.
And so I grew up introduced into all that in upstate New York, the Catskill Mountains. I caught the very tail end of that resort era.
Well, and that resort era, so that would have been late 70s?
The 70s, yeah. That's where when I was there. I moved to Hollywood in 80. And so before that, I was up in the Catskills performing at Kutcher's and the Grossingers and Concord and all that.
And you know, a lot of people, our impression of all of that, our introduction to that, if you're younger, was the movie Dirty Dancing.
Which is a great movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite capture the essence of the Catskill Mountains.
Yeah.
But then what movie does? I'm a movie guy, right? I mean, any industry
You mean there wasn't
covered by a movie doesn't nail it. I remember when Punchline, the movie,
Yeah.
came out about comedy clubs.
Yes.
And all the comedians were like, we don't have a locker room. There's no locker room in the comedy club.
No, there's like a back closet that you go to.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. I had I've run comedy clubs and owned comedy clubs over the years, and I watching comedians listen. You're different because I mean you're an actor, you're a comedian. Maybe you're a comedian first, but you've lived a different life. Some of these guys, it's rough. I mean, the road is rough. What you're handed and dealing with when you're standing in front of 5 people, it's rough.
Yeah, it can
it's
be.
amazing.
I've got a lot of friends. We call them road warriors or road warriors. Yeah. And they're out there, and they'll drive. I mean, Mike and I have set up this tour quite comfortably. We've never driven more than a few hours in any given day.
Yeah.
But I know guys, they go 16 hours to do a half a show for $6, and then they drive back. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some of the middle act and the opening acts, they get $100, $150, $200-$300 if you're.
Who's booking
that's for the weekend, by the way.
It's not glamorous, folks. It's not glamorous.
It ain't pretty. So, and then there are people like me saying, I am not paying you $200. It's just not going to happen. All right. So, are you living in New York?
I am living. I am living.
You are good.
That's
a good thing.
People say that I'm not, but I am living.
All right.
No, where am I?
Do you live in New York, or are you still?
No, I live in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I am now officially on the map of the Stars homes. I don't know how they know where I park my RV.
Very nice. Bada bing. Yeah.
I do. I live in the Hollywood Hills, and I've been there forever. I'm in the same place I've lived since I'm 17.
How hard was it, though, after you leave? Family Ties ends, and now this is it, right? You've got your big shot here. It's not that easy, though. And
well,
you find
it was good right after Family Ties ended.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem right away because I started hosting another series for the Disney Channel called Teen Win, Loser, Draw.
I remember that.
And then after that, I did the Trick or Treat with Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons. That was a big horror movie back in the day, which is in its 30th year anniversary or whatever right now.
Yeah.
And so things were rolling, and then because it gets a little tough all of a sudden. You're not cast as much in things anymore, and everything changes, and Hollywood changes, and all that. And then I started doing behind the scenes. So I've had the chance to write and produce for Game Show Network, TBS, Showtime, Animal Planet, all these crazy stations. So I did that for a bunch, and I never really gave up going on the road. But then I started going back. Touring, made that my main thing again, which is what I'm doing.
And you're embracing Skippy. I mean, I think that is so important when you try to, and there are countless. Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Don't call me Ginger. I don't want to be a part of that. Didn't do any of the reunions. I
made that decision. I'm a little too appreciative that I even got the opportunity to be a part of something so great. And so why run from it? That's how people know me. A lot of people at the shows don't know the show at all. You know, young audiences at comedy clubs, and most of the comedy club audiences are younger. You know, they gotta stay up late.
That's right. They can stay up late versus the rest of us.
And they don't know Family Ties, or maybe they saw it on Nick at Night and repeats when they were kids or something like that. And we pride ourselves on the show being very relevant for all audiences.
Do you get you must run into somebody that says, I don't know what Family Ties is, but I certainly remember you on the Disney Channel. I mean, you must get that, too.
Occasionally, I get all kinds. I like the Trick or Treat people. I get people that had Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons in it, so we've got the heavy metal fans that want to know about the
I got to
Trick or
ask
Treat.
you, though, how have you remained? I mean, I don't see you, like, in jail.
I was going to say, you know what would really launch your career is a good drug scandal. That's what you need.
Let's work on it this afternoon at lunch. Let's rob a 7-Eleven.
I mean,
I told Mike.
There's no 7-Eleven around here.
Slurpees, lots of them. Natalie Tootie, cover me.
I mean, all of them. And I've had so many of them on the radio. And we bring them up. We had up here hear Screech. And then right after he's here, he's stinking stabbing somebody with a pen in Florida or something.
And I don't want to say I'm with Screech's agent, but I got a lot of work while he was in jail.
I bet you did.
I get all of Screech's rejected offers. I wish
That's
that
so
were a
funny.
joke. I'm actually with Screech's agent, by the way.
That is funny.
Actually, now that I'm playing the Rome Capitol Theater this Friday, I'm with Flo from Progressive. She's my
Got
new
it.
agent.
Is it a New York agent or an LA agent?
He's a New York agent.
Okay, is it Roger?
Yeah, Roger.
I know Roger Paul very well.
I worked
so.
with Roger when I was 17.
Yeah.
That's how long. He used to be Jay Leno's agent.
It's-
Imagine how he feels. He's
it's
now
funny.
handling Screech and Skippy.
Think about that. It's funny. I was just talking to Roger about bringing somebody up for our Christmas, and he said, I can't get you Mark Price because he's already going to be up in Rome. Isn't near you guys, right? And I'm like, yeah. There's no way I can do that.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and he cares about the performers. He looks at us. This was a quote in the paper years ago. I said, he looks at us like performers, not as formers.
Yeah, that's very important. You know, he also pitches the funny bunny there.
Oh, I toured with the
Yeah.
Playboy Playmate comedian,
Yeah.
Julie.
Yeah.
I'm very fond of her.
I was just saying, not so funny, that bunny.
Not so fond of me.
But yeah. Okay. Explain how people can get tickets. It is Friday night at the Capitol Theater.
Yeah.
Obviously, pretty easy to get tickets.
Yeah, it's fairly easy. I mean, just go to romecapital.com and then you click on events, and then we're like the 5th one down, and then you got to click on the time, which is 8 o'clock. So, and then you can get your tickets,
He's
but
explaining.
don't click on the live event. Don't click on,
Got it.
you got to click on the time of 8 o'clock, and it'll get you the link to buy tickets. We do have VIP meet and greet, so you can actually meet us after the show. Like that's a treat. But
Well, I think that I'm sure Skippy, Mark, you load them up for the photos. And
So this tour, Mike Bova, who's been sensational, by the way, great energy, great funny, makes me laugh, okay? When I went on tour with the Playboy Playmate, you brought her up.
yeah,
I
Julie McCullough.
Julie McCullough.
Yeah.
I fell in love this February. I like to brag. People say, what year? I go 1986. It's okay. She is so hot, and I love her so much. And when she calls, I set my ringtone so that I know it's her calling. So I set my ringtone to this. Here, listen. Oh, Julie, hi. Sure, I'll help you move.
It's
You and your boyfriend. Fine, I'll rent a truck. I'll be right.
Isn't that awful, right? I mean, they want you to be the guy to move both of them. It's terrible. How about any of the others on that show? Do you have contact with any?
I just want to say, from being out in Hollywood, actresses and models are the worst. The only time they think of anybody else is when they're having sex with me.
Bada boom. So, any contact with any from the Family Ties?
Yes, pretty much everybody from the Family Ties cast. On this tour, we're selling the merch for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, trying to raise
Okay.
awareness and
Very
funds
nice.
for his wonderful organization, does Parkinson's research.
It's
And
amazing how he's still able to
Keep going.
keep going.
It is. I think he does as well with the circumstances as anybody possibly can. People ask me for updated medical reports. I don't have them. But I do know he's a great family man, and he remains a hero of mine. What a great mentor for comedy. Imagine having him teach you how to take a fall or hold for the laugh or any of that.
That's something most people will never, ever get to experience.
And then I'm friends with all the cast members, really. Probably the most with Tina Yothers, the little girl on the show. She's all grown up. She has kids. We hang out. Scott Valentine, the guy who played Nick. We're buddies.
Yeah.
Justine Bateman, who played Mallory. She was always the smartest one, right? So on the set, I never paid attention.
I loved her.
I didn't get my GED. I didn't even get my G. She was accepted to NYU. She was like really smart. And so she couldn't because of the TV show and the career. But just recently, in the last few years, she just graduated UCLA.
Get out of here. That's really
All these years
huge.
later, she went back to school.
Good for her. I mean, and I think that's very interesting to child stars. It seems like this show has done very well, whereas some of them, boy, they've just, I don't know, dealing with post-child stardom is
Famously, the
tough.
kids go from shooting a series to a series of shootings. But I tell you, I don't know if that's fully accurate statistically. It seems that way because you hear the stories.
Yeah.
But there's so many kids in show business. I really think maybe it's not fair because I know a lot of them that are very well adjusted. You might not even know their names or what's going on with them, but they're doing well. My best friend in the world was a little kid on TV shows and stuff. The original Dick Van Dyke Show. Some people don't know, but the pilot, Dick Van Dyke isn't even in it. It's Carl Reiner who's in it.
Oh, okay.
And my buddy plays the little kid on the pilot. You know, he didn't go on to the series.
Yeah.
They got another kid. And he did a lot of work on Broadway and everything. And he's probably the most successful individual I know. And so, you know, it's not always all that bad.
Yeah.
And hey, what about the Danny from the Partridge Family?
Yeah.
He started out with some trouble in the tabloids, and
he seems to be doing okay for himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we say multimillionaire?
He's making some cash. There is no doubt about it. Well, listen, Mark, it's great to talk to you, and great to see you're doing really well, and Mike as well. You guys anywhere tonight or tomorrow night that you want to talk about?
Thursday night, we're at Rockwell's in Pelham, New York. And then Friday, the Rome Capitol Theater, and then we head upstate a little bit more. So.
Where is Pelham, New York, by the way?
Westchester, it's in Westchester County.
You're going back downstate. And then
Yeah,
you come back.
we're literally driving like 4 hours one way, spending the night probably in Jersey, and then driving back.
Do they at least give you good hotels? I always try to give the comedians really nice hotels.
We get some nice hotels. We've had some suites with jacuzzis and stuff, but not that we've had any time to use them. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm not always fond of the nicer hotels. To be honest, the windows don't open. You're on the third.
That's a very good point.
Like a little prison.
Yeah.
I like a motel with a door that opens to the car. I don't even take my luggage in. I go up. I need my toothbrush. I walk
run out
to
to get it.
Look fine for my toothbrush.
How about the place up north that used to do? I don't know if they're still open. I've heard they just closed, but they used to actually. They had rooms where they put you up in their comedy hotel.
Oh yeah,
what was the name of it?
Lake Ontario Playhouse.
Are they still doing it up there?
They're actually closed now.
Yeah,
they were open for like 25 years. I played a couple
yeah.
times there, and
our comedians always complain about that, saying there were no maids to clean up from the previous comedian. I don't think. So.
yeah, it was pretty nasty, man.
Right. The comedy condo.
Yeah. The comedy condo. All right, gentlemen. Mike Bova and Mark Price, Skippy from Family Ties. It will be Friday night. Tickets are $30 for a VIP meet and greet. $20 for the Artist Circle seating, and $15 reserved admission. It benefits Rome Catholic Schools, and go to the Rome Capitol Theater website for details.
You got it.
Cool. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Love your guts.